You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look, with the release of OP11's brand new leaders, mainly blue, purple, Luffy, everybody is pretty much telling me this is the best thing since fried rice. Okay, when you play purple, blue, Luffy, you're fucking every bitch in the world. You're about to be a millionaire. I mean, this is power creep. Everybody's just glaze. You think they work at a bakery of how much glazing they're doing. Even on the streets of YouTube. So, but before we continue, let's go over the card and the effect. First off, this is a 3-life leader, blue purple color, Straw Hats crew, 6,000 power, Monkey D. Luffy out of OP11. The effect reads: you may activate this effect at the start of your turn. If you have 8 or more Dawn, look at the top 5 of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat crew type card and add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, so reading this just off rip, the biggest thing that really is a highlight to me is then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom, which allows you to stack the top of your life. If you stack your top of your life and you're playing a blue leader, anything with blue, that means you get to abuse the Sanji. You guys see it on the screen right now, the Sanji. We'll get into the cards that can abuse. What I really want to do right now is that I really want to read this post, and then we're going to go over all the comments, because you know, I see a lot of videos, but I also don't see a lot of videos talking to the actual community. You already know that's our main thing on the channel. We always tapping in to see what the streets is saying. But I made this post 2 hours ago and it's already popping off with 16 comments. Let's go ahead and go over it. The streets is saying this OP11 Luffy leader is all hype and loses hard to aggro, such as Zoro, Dofi, Betty, etc. This leader also can't use boosting cards like 9 cost Newgate, which is essential for RP Luffy, the deck that's pretty similar to this BP Luffy. It's legit a vanilla leader for 4 turns. So how are we really feeling about this leader? So I made this post and apparently people still think there's a base deck. And before we actually just read all these comments, look, this is just my opinion. Truthfully speaking, I'm just reporting the news. I can honestly give 2 shits if this leader is good or not. I'm still playing BY Luffy until I die. So, you know, just listen to what I'm telling you. If you don't agree with it, then don't be a pussy if you don't agree with it, bro. I mean, everybody needs to have their own opinion. Let's go ahead and continue. I mean, red Luffy is the same way. Can't use effect till 8 Dawn. Depends on if there's some good early to mid-game stuff coming out in OP11. So that's the first comment we got. I'm gonna tell you right now, just looking at this leader just looks like, almost kind of looks like Blackbeard. Gotta wait until we get to the end game. We have to wait until we get to the end game, and that's one thing about this leader. Number 2, this looks like another version of Marco. When Marco first came out, everybody was saying this is going to be a Sokka 2.0. This is going to be the best thing ever, you know, created. And now if you look at Marco, he's in the back of the dumpster doing fentanyl, shooting up like he ain't nobody's business, nowhere to be found. So,
oh hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
The fact that Big Naruto just said it depends on support, okay? And that's what I'm telling you. I don't care how good these leaders are. I need to see the support. The decks may be cracked, but if there's no support, the deck's gonna be ass. Perfect example is the RP Law. When RP Law first got here, it was an okay deck. I wasn't ass. It was, you know, probably tier 1, probably tier 2. It wasn't necessarily tier 1. Once Black Maria came out, all of a sudden it was a tier 0 deck. It's all dependent off of support, gang. So stop telling me this deck is broken X, Y, and Z when we don't even have any blue Straw Hat type of cards. Let's go ahead and read this comment. I think it really depends on the support. Wow, another higher level thinker here. This leader is getting people thought Marco would be broken, and see how that turned out. Exactly, I just said that. We're gonna give that a like. As a RP Luffy main, this leader is too slow. No way you can defend for 4 turns and expect to win. People don't understand how important 9 gate is. That's facts. It has 3 comments. We're gonna read all these comments and we're not gonna actually go to the sim and break down the cards that this particular leader can use. So let's go over what this guy says. Chris Knight 7. I played RP Luffy without that package a lot, and I can say confidently I wreck every deck except for Dofi, and even Dofi is like a 40 to 60%. That's completely wrong. Just based off high level stats, bro. That's good. I don't know who the hell you're playing against. Let's see what this guy says. Boa, you must be playing against bad players, because I'm looking at the data. Oh, he even provided the data. Another higher level thinker. Definitely gonna heart that. I'm looking at the data for RP Luffy on the top ranked sim games, and it has a losing matchup into Dofi, Blackbeard, PB Luffy, Bonnie, Bello Betty, which is 18th sim, which is that's actually crazy. So pretty much this deck may lose to aggro. This deck literally loses to aggro. And this guy says, with my list, it's 100% win for me. That's a lie. If it was 100% win for you, you would probably be at Nationals right now, you know, spinning the block with that deck. And you probably, I don't know who you're playing against, but I mean, if these are statistics here, you can't go against the data. I don't care how good your list is. I don't care who you play against. If you're really that shiesty, you'll probably be somewhere in a tournament. There's something called ramp in the game. Is this the same guy? Is this the fucking, this guy is willing to die on this hill for this deck. It ain't even out yet. There's something called ramp in the game. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It's pretty good. Also, Gum Giant says hello. Okay, wow. Okay, so I'm not gonna read all this. I think we're just gonna read this because they are like, oh my god, they're actually really going in right here. Let's just read this part and then we'll just keep on going. You understand you're a vanilla for the first 4 turns. Even if you ramp once, right? The leader will never be active at turn 4 unless you triple ramp going first or double ramp going second. Everyone is really underestimating how fast RP Luffy would die without 9 gate as well. And I was saying that earlier. I don't think UP Luffy will be that busted. Dofi and other aggro decks will smoke him. Also, the effect of the leader will not activate on the 4th turn going second, because at the start of your turn, you will be at 6, not 8 down. You need to ramp. Deck is mid. So, this guy, I mean, clearly what we're going to do now, since you already read everything, we have some real mixed opinions, but the biggest thing I really want to look at right here is this one right here. Marco. This is a Marco 2.0. And Marco ain't doing shit. So with all that said, we went over the comments to see what the street is talking about. Let's go over to the sim and see what this deck can abuse. So we are back in the sim. So let's go ahead and load up what this deck can use. So we are using this purple, blue Luffy. This is what everybody's hyped up about. It's right here. So this is what everything that this deck could possibly use currently in the game with 0 support. It cannot use Edward Newgate. This is probably one of the most key factors in this deck, just because once it's summoned, it gets a blanket plus 2,000 power. And the fact that this deck cannot use this card, me personally speaking, when I tried out this deck, I mean, this card is essential for a leader such as this. Just because it allows you to play defense before you actually get to your 8, 9, 10 down turn. But with all that said, this is the only card that you really can't run. When we look at the support, the blue card so far is this pudding, just being able to reset your opponent's hand. Is shice. Pretty much you use anything with blue, you're going to be using this. You're going to use the gravity blade, red rock with board removal, and possibly a Sanji's peel-off. Only reason why you probably won't run this because it doesn't have a counter on it. Another card that we are actually missing in OP11, I don't see nobody talk about, are the blanket searchers. So the being able to search out any of your bigger bodies with those broken 6 cards that's coming out EBO2, that's also not in here because it's not officially out in the sim. So those are all the really base blue cards you could possibly use. And another one is this Sanji. This Sanji is a Straw Hat Crew. This is your main glue and staple of this deck, and this is the reason why so many people are trying to hype up this deck, because a lot of times if you get to the point where you can even really start abusing this ability, you get to add 2 cards to your hand, and then you get to also spin the block with this. So the target for this particular card is you can go 9-drop Sanji into Big Mom, and then it allows you to remove something on the field while we're punishing life. You could do this right here into this Monkey D Luffy, just being able to draw a card, add rush. And this also combos really well with the leader ability as well. Another card that a lot of people are saying they're going to have to abuse with this particular leader is this Eustace Kid, just because it gives a blanket 1,000 power. You are at 3 lives, so the more power, the better. That's the reason why people are saying this deck might be mid, because you can't really abuse this card. Another card that this Sanji can really abuse tremendously is this card right here, just being able to go into Sanji, Luffy, Toro, and Sangoro in the 1 turn. That's a how many down is that? That's 9, that's 16. This is a 21 down turn if you was do a combo like this. Bring this out, Luffy, Taro, and this. Very shicey, but like I said, you have to make it the end game, and it all depends on the support. And that's why I really don't like judging a lot of these decks and leaders and people buying shit out, because this deck ain't shit if it does not have support. Yeah, you guys have a lot of these other broken cards, such as this card right here, ending off games, the Gum Giant, even ending off games with this Sanji, and being able to ramp with this Zoro Joro. The only way to really have a early to mid game to position you to be able to, you know, compete late game is probably this Magellan. You drop this Magellan, it slows down your opponents. This is probably one of the only cards that I could really see that may help this deck. I don't know, I'm just picking shit here, but if you really do need to be playing defensive, prior to you actually getting to your late game. I feel like this might be used. I'm not really too sure. You're also probably going to be abusing this Bond Clay and maybe the Black Burrito. I'm not sure. These are just all the cards that I really have. But in a nutshell, this is another version of Marco. I don't want to hear anything about being broken until I see some support. If I don't see any support, and actually when we actually look at the Discord, hold up, I'll bring it up right now. And when we're actually looking at the Discord, the only support that I see on screen right now is Going Merry, Purple Stage, 1 cost, Straw Hat Crew. On play, if your leader has the type Straw Hat Crew, draw 1 card. And activate main, you may rest this stage if the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal or less to the number of Dawn cards on your opponent's field. Give up to one of your Straw Hat type characters plus 2 costs until the end of the opponent's next turn. So this shit looks terrible, and that's the reason why they put MID. Mid, okay? Mid. So that's, look, so far I haven't seen no support. This whole entire leader is based off support. I don't give a shit how good this deck is. If it does not have an early or mid game, by the time you get to late game, you're already going to lose, especially if you're playing against a fast aggro deck like some of those decks we mentioned earlier in the comments, like the Blackbeards, the Doflamingos, the, you know, anything that really rushes you down. So those are my thoughts. Pretty much just wait till we see some fucking support, because I can honestly see this being another Marco. And that's just me being honest with you. I'm not gonna sit up there and, oh my god, you know, your mouth half open in the thumbnail. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to see shit with this deck until I see some support, because right now where it stands, I don't know. It looks like Marco 2.0. That's pretty much what it looks like in my personal opinion. But yeah, let me know below. I was gonna make a video on this, but that post I made went crazy. So just let me know below. And yeah, y'all, that's all I got. But look, before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll go.